See, it goes to record.
It's good to see you all here today. A quick question. Have you ever thought about what would happen if you became sick or could not think clearly? Who would pay your bills? Who would make health decisions for you? Even worse, what if your family never saw you again? Are you prepared medically and financially for what the future may give us? In a column by David McPherson of ABC News, he also agrees the most important documents a young couple should have are the three parts of a will. The three parts of a will are last will and testament, the living will, and the power of attorney. The living will sets up future legal plan for health care. It gives your family the power to make medical decisions for you in the event you are not able. Major choices about quality of life will be described in this document. Power of attorney. Usually a springing power of attorney is used because it will not go into effect until a doctor certifies you are unable to conduct your business affairs. Once your cognitive ability returns, the power of attorney is no longer legal. Several people can be listed on a contingent basis in case the primary person is unavailable. This is a great idea in case your primary person's out of town or maybe in an accident, possibly with you. This way you list a contingent person to take care of your business affairs while you are unable to until your doctor certifies that you've regained your cognitive ability. Last will and testament. This is mainly used for asset transfer. Without a will, courts will decide who will get your property. Now, we're not talking about everything that you own, but in most cases, things that are titled or deeded would be included in transfer of in your last will and testament. The court will also decide who will care for your children if a parent is not available. Guardianship is very important in planning for your child's future. You must make sure you have a plan B. Contingent guardian should be selected in the event your first or second choice is unavailable. Thinking of this, you may have chosen a guardian 5 to 10 years ago, and they may now have 2 or 3 or 4 children. They may also have children who have medical conditions and are special needs, or they may have health concerns themselves. In this instance, you always want to have a second or even a third choice so that you don't have a judge deciding who will then get your children. The court still has to decide if that child should go to that listed guardian. So even though you've selected them in your will and testament, that doesn't mean that that's final. The judge still has to decide. So, even though they may or may not choose that person, in all likelihood, that judge will honor your wishes and decide that those people are who's going to take care of your children. A children's trust is also a great idea. Most people don't realize that at age 18, a child becomes an heir to that estate if both parents have predeceased. You don't want a child to get 18 and inherit $50,000 to $100,000 or more without the financial capabilities of taking care of that money. You have to put documents in place to honor your wishes when you're not there. A good idea is to have a college fund established so that they can attend any college that they want, and then possibly let them have parts of their inheritance at age 25 and every couple of years after that. That way, if they've made a mistake, they still have 2 or 3 more chances in which to invest that money long term for their financial future. These 3 parts of the will are documents Susie Orman, national financial expert and leading author of several financial help books, recommends to her clients and readers. With these documents in place, your family will be able to continue in the manner you expected. Your wishes will be carried out even if you can't be there to see them through. All of these documents will help make sure that your family has a sound financial future and can continue without worry that if you can't make those decisions for your children or your family, that they will be taken care of. Are there any questions regarding parts of the will? Yes, ma'am.
What happens if the guardians you pick to take care of your children decide they don't want to do it any longer?
Well, in that instance, if you haven't listed a contingent guardian, the judge would then come back in and choose for you. Just as if you would not have had a will in place at all. Did that answer your question?
Okay, yes, I have another one. If the children turn 18 without a trust, do they get the money from the estate if both parents have passed away?
Yes, they do. As a matter of fact, that money becomes available to them. If there are 2 children, they would receive half of the estate at that point. In many instances, you see them going out and buying expensive cars and things like that, instead of making sure that they've taken care of their education, and their financial future. Mm-hmm. Do you have any more questions? Yes.
Can your family just tell a doctor or the hospital your medical decisions when you are in the hospital, or?
They can tell the wishes, but they will not be honored unless that living will is produced. They have to produce that living will, and it actually has to be on file with the hospital in order for them to honor those wishes.
Thank you.
And we thank you for coming.
I've been waving my hand the whole time.
Hello, test 1 2. Test 1 2 3 4. Test 1 2.